For panel number 3, we have the UOG Drone Corps program. And just a little context behind the Drone Corps. The University of Guam Drone Corps is the institution's first ever drone certification and training program for undergraduate and graduate students, staff, and faculty. The program aims to build technical capacity by creating a cadre of FAA licensed, informed, and responsible pilots through knowledge courses, training workshops, and hands-on flying opportunities. The program is collaboratively administered by NASA Guam EPSCoR and NASA Guam Space Grant and is focused on increasing education and awareness of drone technology through responsible use. So this will be a group presentation actually with the 4 people that you see on the screen, and they are actually FAA certified drone pilots through the program, Anthony, Queenly, Maria, and Thor, and they are also undergoing an internship at this time after coming out of the Drone Corps program. So I'll go ahead and give the floor over to the members.
Okay, let's get started. So half a day, everyone. Before we get started, we would like to thank everyone for joining us this morning at UOG's first NASA Research Symposium. We applaud everyone behind this event for making it possible. So let's get started. Many people have seen aerial images or even commercials taken from a drone, but not many people know about the journey of how one can become a certified drone pilot. Specifically, a Federal Aviation Administration Part 107 certified remote drone pilot. So today we will discuss our drone internship with Tech Center Guam and Aviation Concepts under the mentorship of Art Dolly, which includes an insight of our experiences in the drone industry. We hope to share our journey of going from a student to an instructor in drone certification. So in a few minutes, you'll get to learn more about our team, our educational background, interests, and aspirations. Next, we will share with you the skills, tools, and training we've gained out of this internship. So we divided our journey into 3 phases. First, an introduction. This portion of our presentation, we will each describe our thoughts about the UOG Drone Corps program and how our membership in this program exposes us to many drone-related opportunities, one being the Tech Center Guam Aviation Concepts internship. After our initial phase of obtaining a Part 107 remote license, we were fortunate enough to apply our skills and knowledge of drone technology towards free flight training, commercial mapping, and data acquisition projects, and lastly, towards developing organizational unmanned aircraft training programs. So let's go ahead and meet the team.
Our team consists of a collective group of undergraduate students from UOG School of Business, School of Engineering, and the College of Natural and Applied Sciences. Here you'll get to learn more about the team that took on the internship with Aviation Concepts and Tech Center Guam. Half a day, good morning, everyone. My name is Queenly DeLeon, and I'm currently a 4th-year undergraduate majoring in business administration. My motivation for applying to the UOG Drone Corps was to learn more about drones and to experience operating them safely and efficiently. I was more interested in learning how the drones could be used for data collection and research projects that will benefit our local community.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Thor Hauerbach. I'm currently a 3rd year at the School of Business and Public Administration. I'm majoring in business administration, and my interest for applying into the Drone Corps program stems from, I honestly feels like my first passion that I've ever had in my entire life is just aviation and airplanes. I've been obsessed ever since I was a kid, and it's a fire that seems to never go out.
Hello, everyone. My name is Anthony Luces. I'm currently a graduating senior civil engineering student. I applied for the UOG Drone Corps because it was a completely free program, and I thought flying and learning about drones would be a fun experience. Also, being a civil engineering student, I believe the use of drones in my field of study will be used more in the future as technology and knowledge in drones advances and is more exposed to the media and the general public. What I hope to get out of this Drone Corps program is knowledge in regulations, airspace, drone skills and application, and new opportunities.
Hi, my name is Maria Minas. I'm currently a 4th-year mathematics undergraduate and an aspiring secondary education teacher. at UOG. So I applied for the UOG Drone Corps program in hopes to open a new door of interest in STEM other than teaching. So with that in mind, I became more eager to learn about drones, such as understanding the integration of technology and program in drone technology while capturing footage and data for local agencies. So through this internship, I was given the opportunity to partake in several mapping and data acquisition projects, obtain proper certifications for public safety, and lastly, help develop a curriculum for aspiring drone pilots.
And that's our team. In the rest of the presentation, you'll learn more about how our growing interest of drone technology and our collaborative work ethics have helped us engage in UAS flight operations and projects. Now we will talk about our journey to becoming FAA Part 107 certified remote pilots. The photos on the left were taken during our first day of the 3-week FAA Part 107 knowledge course. Me and my fellow UOG Drone Corps pilots are proud to be part of the University of Guam's first cohort of FAA Part 107 certified drone pilots. Woohoo. During our initial phase of becoming a certified remote pilot, we learned about drone tech components and proper storage, drone mechanics and operations, various conditions, the type of flight zones, and so much more. You can read more about the article on news and announcements on the UOG main website at uog.edu.
John already went ahead and gave a background about the UOG Drone Corps program, but I'll go ahead and remind you all again. So the University of Guam has piloted their first drone program and hopes to produce its first batch of FAA certified drone pilots. So this joint effort drone program was spearheaded in April 2021 by NASA Guam Space Grant and NASA Guam EPSCoR programs. So this program aims to build technical capacity by creating a group of FAA licensed, informed, and responsible pilots through knowledge courses, training and workshops, and hands-on flying opportunities. Again, this program focuses on increasing education and awareness of drone technology through responsible use. I would say with our experiences so far, we can say that this program has done a great deal with networking us with local agencies to get involved in the emerging drone industry on Guam. As for aspiring commercial drone pilots, we must first dive into the environment of drone technology. So the first step to doing so is to complete a FAA Part 107 knowledge prep program. The FAA Part 107 is a set rules for operating a drone commercially in the US. So Honor Island, Aviation Concepts, and Tech Center Guam are some of the organizations that offer the FAA Part 107 knowledge prep program. Through this course, potential drone pilots are introduced to a wide range of aeronautical terminologies and operations. So it's divided into 5 parts. The first, regulations. Next is national airspace systems, meteorology, loading and performance, and operations, which includes the airport operations and communications. So upon acceptance into and completion of the 3-week preparatory course, students then schedule their FAA Part 107 certification exam, which grants successful members a 2-year remote pilot license necessary to safely fly drones through Guam skies.
When the Part 107 test prep class launched, I was able to arrange my work schedule to attend the classes in person fully by the 2nd week. I prefer to learn and study the subject matter in person rather than on my own time. Our Dolly is a great instructor and gave further explanation for better understanding with the questions regarding the test prep, especially in the certain areas that we needed more clarification. I needed more on national airspace, but it was great to learn. It was amazing. The class was very well structured and it definitely showed through the results of our knowledge exams. I was extremely grateful for the course and was offered the option to attend in person and was able to adhere the health and safety protocols properly. Next, Anthony will be sharing his experience attending the course remotely.
So at the start of the 3-week knowledge course, I was involved in a separate internship that was full-time, which meant that I had to attend the classes for Drone Corps on my own time. I watched some of the recorded sessions, but wasn't able to keep up due to the length of the classes. Prior to the start of the classes, they supplied us with a test prep book, which essentially is what they were covering in the class, but a lot more in depth due to our instructor, Mr. Dolly, being able to supply his experience and insight. Due to my time conflicts, I decided to read the test prep book on my own to its entirety and self-teach, as I felt that was the most efficient way for me to complete the knowledge course given my circumstance. However, if I could attend the class in person, I would, because self-teaching has its limitations, such as not being able to ask questions or listen in on the instructor's advice and experience on the topic. And in-person classes are a lot more engaging. So after we obtained our FAA remote license, we participated in our first free flight training with Aviation Concepts and Tech Center Guam. We were first introduced to the DJI Phantom 4 Pro version 2 with a maximum speed of 45 miles per hour. The OcuSync 2.0 HD transmission system ensures stable connectivity through GPS positioning and 5 directions of optical sensing to ensure additional safety. We mainly use the DJI Phantom 4 Pro V2 drone for mapping and surveying projects with the use of LiDAR technology. The second drone we got to operate was the DJI Mavic Pro with a maximum speed of 40 miles per hour. The typical flight time for this drone is about 27 minutes. The Mavic Pro can fly a maximum distance of about 8 miles. We mainly use this drone for learning and practicing basic and advanced flight maneuvers and patterns. Lastly, the latest drone we've used is the Parrot Anafi USA. This drone has a maximum speed of 33 miles per hour. It has a maximum flight time of 32 minutes and a 32 times zoom and an infrared camera, which can detect heat signatures. It also has an IP53 rating for dust and water resistance conditions. We use the Parrot Anafi USA for search and rescue missions due to its thermal imaging capabilities. Before operating in the field, we spent about 20 hours on the DJI Enterprise Simulator and the Zephyr Drone Simulator. Both simulators were used to help new remote pilots become familiar with the basic handling operations that come with safely using any small unmanned aircraft system. There are multiple training modules or modes that anyone can spend time in to build confidence and familiarity with operating a small UAS. Specifically with the DJI simulator, it utilizes a comprehensive physics engine to help pilots mimic real-world conditions, such as wind and ground effects, as well as realistic simulated crashes. Furthermore, multiple point of views are able to be toggled between to help pilots visualize their specific inputs on the drone. Next, I'll give it to Maria, where she will talk about the drone application we use during flight operations.
So before participating in field operations, we have to familiarize ourselves with the following applications. So first we have the DJI Go 4 app. This app has been optimized for all DJI's latest products, including the Mavic series, Phantom 4 series, and the Inspire. So it provides a near real-time image transmission and camera setting adjustment, as well as editing and sharing of aerial imagery to the DJI drone community. The next app that we use is the ALOF app, which is a drone and airspace management app, which makes it easy for companies to manage a drone program that's safe, compliant, and reliable while providing easy to use mobile apps and desktops that keep teams flying safe and their data organized. The next one is the Free Flight 6 app. It's an intuitive application which allows you to conduct missions and analyze your shots quickly. You can also define your flight modes, your flight plans, and access drone data such as your battery level, photos, videos taken during your missions. This application is more effective and compatible with the Parrot drone users such as the Anafi USA. And lastly, the Pix 4D capture is a professional drone mapping tool. It captures image data such as RGB or multispectral or thermal imaging for optimal 3D models and maps. It can process post-flight images easily on the cloud or desktop applications, which produces georeferenced maps and models that are tailored to many industry needs.
Now our work experiences. See how we applied our skills and knowledge of drone technology and operations into the field. Anthony and I will be presenting our experiences with mapping and data acquisition projects. In preparation to conduct official mapping and data acquisition projects with local business companies, we conducted hands-on flight exercises with the DJI Phantom 4 Pro version 2.0 at the International Raceway in Jigo. We treated the practice as we would do as if it was an official on-site project. Before taking the drone into the air, we would perform the necessary processes and procedures, such as confirming everyone's roles as who will be the remote pilot in command, the person manipulating the controls, and the visual observers during the exercise mission. We went through a pre-flight checklist, ensuring batteries were in good condition, application systems check, authorizations, and all clear for takeoff. We also made sure that the equipment and hardware were working properly, such as remote control, device display, cable cords, and of course the drone itself regarding the propellers and camera. We also took into consideration the weather, the wind, and other variables that could affect the performance of the drone. We utilized the DJI Go 4 and the Pix 4D capture applications. What's really cool and helpful as well is that each applications would go through their own checklist to have all sections clear to go for additional support and to initiate and ensure a safe and proper operation. The remote pilot already had placed the flight route in advance into the Pix 4D to cover the specific areas for the mission. The drone was ready for takeoff. Majority of the flight, the drone flew smoothly and captured the images needed. In the middle of the mission, a couple of minutes in or towards the end, the team noticed the drone had stopped and hovered at the same spot and longer than we anticipated it for. So we decided that the drone needed to go return to home and assess the cause of the drone, why it was hovering in that one spot. So we decided that the batteries would need to be changed. Once the new battery was properly placed in, the drone was ready to continue in its path. We were able to take all the necessary images. Once the mission was over, we went back to the office to upload the images onto the desktop software to produce the quality and accuracy assessment report, maps, and models. The mission was successfully completed.
So my first experience working as an intern at Tech Center Guam was working on drone mapping projects. With some background in civil engineering, I have gained experiences in design, construction, and maintenance of various environments. With this, I have applied surveying and mapping techniques in our internship projects. We use several tools such as drones and ground control points, which fall under the surveying category of aerial survey. The drone's purpose in a mapping survey is to use LiDAR technology, also known as light detection and ranging, to collect data that can be used for 3D modeling of a site, which can give elevation, contour lines, orthomosaic imaging, etc. The purpose of ground control points is to obtain precise location coordinates in the X, Y, and Z axes. The mapping projects gave me valuable insight on innovative, efficient, and accurate ways you can perform surveys with drones than the conventional ground-based surveys with the use of total stations.
All right, so now I'll start talking about what we did specifically as interns, and what you see here is the contract that was awarded to Aviation Concepts or Tech Center Guam, and it's one of the reasons that we were brought on to the team. This contract, quote, is set out to contract drone services to be provided to the Guam Fire Department, who will utilize these services for specific operations to combat a pandemic. The fire department would partner with the government of Guam's permitting and regulatory agencies, such as the Guam Department of Public Works and the Guam EPA, to also include the Guam Department of Public Health and Social Services and the Guam Police Department. The purpose of these partnerships is to avail these agencies of these drone services in order to minimize field inspections and surveys by agency personnel so as to reduce the risk of infectious contact, end quote. So some of the services provided through this contract, here's the following order of priority. So the first priority is develop a drone program for the government of Guam, which includes policies and procedures. Second, provide drone pilot training to the Guam Fire Department personnel and other government of Guam personnel to obtain a remote pilot certificate from the FAA, which complies with the FAA's Part 107 rule. And lastly, provide drone services in response to the coronavirus pandemic. So when we were first brought onto the team, we all worked together in developing a curriculum that we would use to guide our class. We ended up choosing Google Classroom to host our curriculum, as it's very easily accessible and has little to no cost. And through our digital classroom, the team and I were able to make announcements, take daily attendance, schedule assignments, upload class recordings and additional videos, as well as upload any supplementary drone relevant resources. And we also published and assigned our own FAA Part 107 quizzes, as well as drone specific questionnaires that evaluated students' understanding of individual drone platforms. So when our ground school took off in early February, we started with and ended with 15 students, all of which have now passed their FAA Part 107 exams. The knowledge section of our course lasted 3 weeks, with class meeting face-to-face every weekday starting at 9 a.m. and ending at 1 p.m. In addition to meeting face-to-face, class could be attended via Zoom or viewed at any time through our class recordings. Following those 3 weeks of class, our team transitioned from the classroom environment to hands-on practice with varying simulators and drone systems. At this point, we encouraged our class to start scheduling individual simulator time. Within the contract, each student is allocated 4 hours of total simulator time, with 2 hours split between the DJI Enterprise Simulator and the NIST Simulator. As Anthony previously mentioned, the DJI Simulator is great at simulating things such as real-world effects, environments, and visuals. This results in it being a perfect tool for one to gain an initial familiarity, both regarding basic flying skills and using a real drone controller. We found that our students eagerly signed up for their own respective simulator times and very quickly got the hang of basic flying skills. So once a student had reached a comfortable level or familiarity with the DJI simulator, we then encourage them to try out what we refer to as the NIST simulator. The application itself is called the Zephyr Sim or Zephyr Simulator, but we exclusively use this application as a tool to familiarize ourselves and our class with something called NIST. If you've never heard of NIST, you might ask, what is it? NIST stands for the National Institute of Standards and Technology, which is a part of the US Department of Commerce. This organization has developed and it still presently develops various measuring and standard test methods that aid in evaluating robotic capabilities for both emergency responders and military organizations. So this slide right here is just a very brief overview of NIST. I know when I first saw it initially, I was just completely overwhelmed. There's so many technical details, it seems like, but to put it simply, the standard test methods established through NIST ensure that all participants in a certain program are on the same page regarding evaluation methods, and specifically for this, for pilot proficiency. And the overarching objective of the National Institute of Standards and Technology is to, quote, develop the measurements and standards infrastructure necessary to quantitatively evaluate robotic system capabilities and remote pilot proficiency, as well as to enable quantitative comparisons of different robot models based on statistically significant robot capabilities data, guide purchasing decisions, and understand deployment capabilities. These standard test methods also support operator proficiency training, as well as foster the development and hardening of advanced mobile robot capabilities. So at the start of March this year, our team was assisted by Mr. Tom Haas and Mr. Dave Danielson. Mr. Haas is currently the lead researcher in the Response Robotics Division of NIST and previously a captain of the Los Angeles Fire Department. Mr. Danielson is currently the lead drone pilot for the Los Angeles Fire Department, and Aviation Concepts sponsored the two of them to come take a workcation to Guam, and the two spent 1 week on island working with our team and ensuring that we correctly implemented the NIST framework into our classroom. At the end of their week here, Mr. Haas and Mr. Danielson accredited Tech Center Guam as a training facility that utilizes the NIST framework in evaluating remote pilot proficiency. So lastly, priority 3, provide drone services. 2 weeks ago, our company had the opportunity to assist in a real-world search and rescue mission. This opportunity was also made available to certain students of ours, as well as to myself. The mission's goal was to find 2 lost fishermen who had reportedly been swept away by unpredictable currents. The mission was conducted by the Guam Fire Department with assistance from GP's Marine Patrol, the US Coast Guard, and helicopters from the US Navy's HSC 25 Squadron, as well as the Guam National Guard. Mr. Dolly and I, along with some of our students, used our DJI Mavic Pro, the DJI Phantom 4 Pro, and the Parrot and Off the USA to locate one of the 2 men, which they thankfully were able to recover shortly thereafter. The drones we used on this mission fulfilled our contractual service obligations with the Guam Fire Department / Government of Guam, And furthermore, our company offers recurring training at both our hangar here at the airport and at the Guam International Raceway, as Queen mentioned. So to close, thank you for listening to me share my experiences with you, and I'll hand it back to Anthony, who will talk about what's next for us.
So what's next? Learn about how our experiences broadened our interest in the drone industry and how I plan to apply our experiences as interns under aviation concepts and tech center Guam to our future careers and aspirations.
As a team, we hope to expand our experiences in capturing and processing data for local research agencies through mapping and data acquisition projects. Like we mentioned earlier, our journey going from student to instructor took many hours of preparation and experience in both simulated and on-site operations. We can recall UOG Drone Corps' main focus to increase education and awareness of drone technology through responsible use. To do so, we plan to establish a curriculum for future commercial drone pilots. This includes, but is not limited to, expanding our organizational unmanned aircraft training programs, especially for GovGuam agencies. We plan to maintain our position as FAA Part 107 course instructors, as well as NIST instructors and proctors. Lastly, as the island of Guam gradually integrates the use of drone technology in public safety or search and rescue operations, we plan to assist with implementation of the NFPA 2400 standards for public safety agencies.
And so moving forward, we have 4 main goals. The first one is mapping. We look forward to collaborating with various local agencies in producing 3D models and high definition maps of certain land areas of the island. The second goal is teaching. To bring awareness of drone technology and its benefits, we hope to educate more people through developing a curriculum for drone pilots and commercial organizations. Our third goal is certification. Along with educating others, we want to ensure they are provided with the resources to earn FAA Part 107 certifications. And lastly, search and rescue. With our ongoing project with GovGuam agencies, we hope to prolong our services to provide government agencies training and guidance for public safety operations. And so I hope that we have given you all more than just an insight of our experiences as drone pilots, but also sparked your interest in pursuing in the field of drone technology as well. So that concludes our presentation. Thank you again for having us this morning, and catch us soaring through Guam skies.